I'm Mordalski and I made thousands of dollars selling my beats mainly with my YouTube channels. And I decided to try selling my beats with Instagram Reels too. So advice number one is you need to create content as fast as possible, okay? Generally, speed is quality by itself in creating Instagram content. You need to create like few pieces of content every day, and in this case, even if you think that putting extra few minutes into your reel is not that important, it will scale over 100, 1000 pieces of content into whole hours and whole days of work, okay? So the first very important thing about creating stuff on Instagram is you need to create content fast. If I have two types of content, and they are they give me similar results, but I can create one type of reel in 20 minutes and the other one in 1 hour, I would definitely go for 20 minutes reel because it's just easier to create, okay? It is never good to put a lot of hours into producing one reel because we never actually know what will be the result of our reel. And since we put a lot of reels, it's better to just not focus too much on one specific reel, okay? So at first you want to learn how to make content fast, so how to record faster, how to synchronize audio faster, how to do some editing faster, and then you also want to find types of content that doesn't require too much work, okay? The best best creators on Instagram are sometimes creating literally stupidly simple content, specifically if they're producers. They literally do no editing, they maybe add some captions. This kind of content takes them 10 minutes to create or even less, and that's really good because in this case you can create tons of that content every day, okay? Lesson number 2 is very specific. Bad lighting is worse than bad camera, okay? I'm using really bad camera. I was using really bad camera for recording my reels. I mean just using front camera of Motorola G72, okay, so from my phone, and still, if I had good lighting, okay, so I had just good lighting from my window, from sun, I still could get actually decent level of video quality. But if lighting was bad, so for example, I was in the bad spot, or the light was bad, or I was just recording only with artificial light from my lamps in the room, that looked terrible, okay? So remember, sometimes you don't need good camera because good cameras will just cost you a lot. Sometimes you just need to invest in lighting, or you can just record next to your window because usually windows is better than some cheap lighting, okay? But you can also just invest in lighting and you will be good, okay? You don't need to buy camera at the beginning. Usually, if you have a phone and you don't have some total fucking crappy phone, I mean phone for $50 at 20 years, 10 years old, okay? It means that usually your light sucks and you could get a lot better quality for video, okay? Now, lesson number 3. You have 3 seconds to get attention of rappers. Back in days, you just had to find this information somewhere else. Right now, Instagram even gives you this statistic in Professional Studio. This statistic that 3 seconds retention, 3 seconds hook. Generally, this is the ratio, the percent of people that kept watching after those 3 seconds, okay? And this is very, very fucking important. One of the most important things in the whole reel, because at first, if they stay after those 3 seconds, they are very likely to finish the whole thing. But if a lot of people are clicking off in 3 seconds, your reel will not go anywhere, okay? So remember, you always have only 3 seconds to get attention of rappers, so don't leave the most important part of your reel in the second number 5, 7. No, you want to start with something interesting. You want to at the beginning hit them with, yo rappers, okay? Oh, this trick for free streams on Spotify, trick for playlists, oh, this beat is the best, okay? You never want to make some intro actually to your reel. You want to get straight up to content, so you have their attention in 3 seconds. Don't think that you will get anybody's attention in second number 4, 5 or something like that. You always have only 3 seconds to get their attention. Remember about it in every of your reels. Lesson number 4. Make sure you address your reel in first sentence, and actually not in first sentence, ASAP. You always want to let people know who is this reel for. For example, when I make reels or I make shorts on YouTube for producers, I always try to start with music producers, because if topic of my reel is not very strictly attached to producing, so if I say something make beats, I don't need to mention music producers. But if I'm telling, for example, about mixing, and I start with when you're using compression, when for example I start my sentence with you should use compressor this way, It's like, no, you are not sure if this advice is for producers or more for like specifically sound engineers. Of if I'm telling like free marketing tricks for musicians, free trick marketings, if I would mention something like that in the beginning, people have no idea if I do it for like, I don't know, doctors, for rappers, for producers, for like, I know, finance gurus, like whatever, okay? You want to make sure that people know who is this real for, okay? So literally, if you're a beginner, just okay, so if your producer literally good, do something like that. If you make more personal reels, so you just grab a phone and you're talking about like, you know, your best technique for making something in your beats. You just make, yo rappers, here's what I'm going to mention today, okay? But generally, if you make beats, like you just show your beats from the first second, okay? Because for a lot of us, it will be just showing beats actually on Instagram. So you just want to show your beats from first second. You also want to show your setup. You want to show some audio interface, your headphones, your speakers, FL Studio, some plugins, some MIDI keyboard. You want to make sure that people can see that this content is about music, is about rappers, is generally it could benefit them, okay? You don't want to attract random people with your content. You want to attract specifically rappers, and you want to let them know it as fast as possible in every of your reels. Now, advice number 5. Don't put call to actions in your content. What is call to action? Call to action, for example, go buy this beat, or go DM me, or go check out my course, or go kiss my ass, okay? These are call to actions, okay? So call to actions are telling you to do something. And I can do this thing in my long form content, because I'm here for like, you know, 10, 20, 30, sometimes even more minutes. So if I like put 30 seconds into telling you, yo, go check out my course, first link in the description, by the way, I'm like, for real, first link in the description, go check this out. You'll not get so tired of me, okay? Because I'm giving you like 10 minutes of value, but asking you in like, no, for value from you for like 30 seconds. But if you have like 20 seconds reel, and then you have a problem, because simply people will click off, okay? You always will use audience when you ask them for something. With rappers, it works the same way too, okay? So I have tried it. I never put some CTAs in my content. I have tried to make just captions at the end of my reels, but it still didn't work. It still turns people off. You want to make crazy reel, and then you want to give your call to action in your description of reel, okay? So you make crazy reel with preview for beat, and then in the description you go, DM me for custom beats, or check out my story to buy this beat. Click link in the bio to buy this beat, okay? You don't do this in your content, because if you have 20 seconds reel and 5 seconds of the reel is you at the end just talking, yo, if you want to buy this beat, you can go, like, it takes some time, and people, like, retention will go like this, so a lot of people are watching, and then boom, drops to 0, okay? You never want to get to 0 retention at the end, because algorithm is really fucking sensitive for that. He will spot it, he will cut your views like really immediately when you try to do this, okay? So now, lesson number 6, don't try to create meme content, okay? Meme content, so generally anything that tries to be funny. Like, I don't mean that if you're doing a preview of dope beat and your kind of caption is kind of interesting. So for example, I had this reel, I can show you, that was like, I will tell you how can you be funny and how shouldn't you be funny, okay? Because for example, I had this reel it was strictly about previewing the beat. Yeah, I have this reel that had a lot of positive feedback. J. Cole will ride a bike on this thing, but I'm making a preview. Everybody knows who is this for, okay? Generally, I'm giving them beat from the first second, so then I can make a little joke. So yeah, J. Cole will ride the bike on this thing. That's nice, but if you do just straight up meme, so with no music, and you just want to get only views, okay? So I will show you how to not do this basically. Yeah, if you just make this kind of stuff, so like maybe even there is beat from this guy, but still it's not something that would interest rappers. Somebody will laugh at this, but nobody will buy from you. So you don't want to waste your time on memes, because memes can give you millions of views on Instagram. It will give you no sales, okay? I could show you this guy again. He can get like 2 million views on Instagram reel, okay, like on his meme, but later he posts his beats with some influence like, this is my beat, go buy it in the description. He has like 1,000 views. So making memes will not give you anything, because by the way, producer memes are not funny for rappers, are funny for producers. So at first you will not even attract rappers with some producer memes. That's my first point, okay? I'm checking if it's recording, okay? So now, lesson number 7. Views will not make you viral. You need to engage people. just getting, just if your reel just gets views, it actually doesn't mean anything, okay? Because you may have this situation that you're posting reels, you have only 50 views, 200 views, 300 views, and at some point one of those reels like goes up to 1000, you're thinking, whoa, this is the best content in your life. But if you have no comments, nobody follows you from that, nobody saves, nobody likes, it means that it's still shit, okay? Proper content, the content that will actually really go viral, and will really get you more views, has to give you some engagement, okay? So you always want to maintain content that gives you bigger engagement. For example, like my most popular reel, let me show you. This, yeah, we have a lot of likes, we have some comments. I even have like this, you know, this guy complaining that I'm not 17 or something. Like, yeah, we have engagement, a lot of, I can't show it right now, or I can maybe, wait, yeah, I had like 72 interactions, okay, a lot of likes, comments, 17 people saved it, and for some reason I didn't get any follows for that, so it's still not the best, but you should aim for getting follows from your reels, getting comments, getting likes, getting saves, because if you just get a little bit, you know, peak in views, it doesn't mean too much. You should focus on content, and you should maintain type of content on Instagram that will just make people engage. So if you can see that this one reel didn't give you a lot of views, but it gave you like 50 likes, and you usually get 10 likes, it means that something is good about it, and you should maintain it, because likes will not, it doesn't, by the way, it doesn't mean that like likes make you go viral, but views, picking views means that just algorithm like tested your content, and since it didn't get any like interactions, any engagement, it died. And it was just random, okay? These algorithms in short form content are doing all the time. They are testing your content, and then if you have no engagement, no interactions from people, it stop promoting it. So don't think about views too much, okay? Because still views are very fucking important. But remember, if you have views but you have no engagement in your content, it means that something is wrong. You should focus more on engagement then. Okay, so now lesson number 8. Bad editing is worse than no editing. And now I'll show you, like, generally sometimes more means less so fucking much, because I have those 2 reels, okay, and it is fucking crazy, okay? It will blow your mind, okay? Just wait, because I was making these challenges. Yeah, I have this reel with a beat, okay? Yeah. And now I'm here in the corner, I'm doing some edit with FL Studio, I'm playing, like, you know, I added some captions, a lot of editing, like, you can see some effects. Yeah, here is some effect, yeah. Like, I put a lot of time, 250 views. But the really important part is, I had like 10 likes here. And then I post this. Just check it out. The same beat. Yeah. And basically more likes, way more likes, and more views too. Like, obviously it's still small scale, but you can see I put like, and that's important, I put into this first reel 3 fucking hours of editing and still making this beat, but I am not mentioning it. Like 3 hours of editing. Literally, I'm not editing, like it was also like recording it, okay? So my whole idea was like, it took me like 3 hours from the scratch. And I recorded this in like 1 minute. Literally in 1 minute. And it more views, more likes, okay? Like the difference is not that big, like obviously, but still, it was better to just not do anything, okay? So remember, if you're, and this is mainly because that edit of mine was not that good. Actually, those captions were not necessary. I didn't have to do so much editing. I just could make it more interesting. So sometimes remember, it's better to just post a beat without any editing, without any, like, you know, without any fireworks, than to just sit on this for 5 hours and make some, you know, looking nice reel. Because putting more into your reel will not mean that you will get more views, okay? Sometimes more means less in making reels, okay? So now, don't bother making reels longer than 15 seconds if it's not preview, okay? If you have preview of the beat, and obviously, like, you know, the hook, just the hook takes 15 seconds, you also want to show the part of some, like, you know, verse or something, yeah. In this case, actually, you can post those previews, no problem. But if you're making the content in style of, let's say, I will show you. For example, I have this reel for producers, okay? Let's say you go for something like I'm going, okay? It's just some advice. yeah, if you just give some simple advice, some simple tutorial, some more personal stuff, so just recording yourself, not just if you're not showing beats, you just don't want to make it for more than 15 seconds, okay? 15 seconds, that's maximum. If you some advice, tutorial, some story time, no more than 15 seconds. If you go viral with your 15 seconds, you make like viral, you get like 100,000 views. Then you can start making 30 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever, even 1 minute. But at the beginning, since you are a beginner, probably if you're watching this, or maybe you're not, but generally if you haven't go viral with your content, just stick to maximum 15 seconds. Just trust me, it is like way more better than just wasting time on recording 1 minute reel that will anyway not go viral. If there's, and I don't like telling you that it's for like, it's for previews, because previews is different thing. In preview, the most important part is your beat, and if you're good with beats, it means that you can create engaging 1 minute piece of beat. But if you're not, since you are not like experienced in making Instagram reels, it's hard to make it without your beats. But if your beat is the main dish of this, okay, then you can actually create it engaging for like 1 minute straight, because you're a good producer, but you're not so good Instagram reels creator, basically, okay? Now, still from competition, lesson number 10. Research is more important than creating. I would say that when you're entering Instagram Reels, you should spend more time on research, on what's popular right now, on what type of content is like working for your competition, for guys in your niche and the other niches, than on actual creating. I would say that you should just literally look for 2 hours for best ideas for Reels, and then record those Reels in like 20 minutes. Okay, because I don't think that good reel should take you more than like 20 minutes to make, from record to editing, literally. You just need to find proper ideas. So what's popular right now, what's trendy, what's interesting for other producers, because you could try to get your own ideas, but what's the fucking point if you can just go to Instagram and find producers who already are successful, are selling beats, are getting like millions of views with their content, and you can take content from them. And obviously I don't want you to copy it, okay? You just find idea. For example, somebody create viral reel talking about like a quick mix, a quick tip for parallel compression, and now you just make your own like tutorial in like 20 seconds, but with your own script, with your own idea, with your own compressor, with your own way of doing things. Okay, I don't want you like to literally like copy, but don't copy scripts and like editing, but copy the whole fucking idea. Okay, for example, you see for this producer, with like very similar beats to yours, it works to do some edit with some movie, okay? And he made some, I know, Scarface edit with his beat, I don't know, whatever. You also you want to do the same thing, okay? It just makes way more sense. And even if those like copied reels will not go viral, you will learn a lot, okay? Because this is research is the best way to just study how reels work, and generally what kind of content goes viral. You will not learn it from YouTube videos, from some courses. You will learn it only through doing research. Okay, so now we can go to advice number 11, which is you will not sell just with reels. Okay, I've never sold a beat with those reels. That's interesting part. Okay, I haven't sold beats with reels. But why? Because I like proper stories. I didn't know that generally you're not gonna sell a lot with short form content. With short form content, you can gather a lot of people on your profile, okay? You can get a lot of followers that will check out your stories, and on stories you can put direct links, you can put those call to actions, go buy my beat, oh, here is my new beat, you can check out my website, you can buy this, you can get mix from me, whatever, okay? But because of the fact that I don't like to be online too much, and I don't like to use my phone too much, I wasn't really like happy with the idea of posting, let's say, few stories on Instagram every day. That's probably why I didn't land any sale with Instagram Reels. So remember, you will not sell with your Reels. The only point of your Reel is to get people to follow you, okay, and to watch more of your content. And once they like you, they will check out your stories, they will go into your bio, then that's where they buy, okay? Let's consider our Instagram Reels are some Tinder profile. Your first picture is not you like sitting here and asking, yo, meet me here for coffee tomorrow at 6 p.m, okay? No, your first picture is just going to grab attention of people, okay? The same thing goes for like pickups line. I know you're called a girl. You don't want to go up to her and, yo, go meet me at 6 p.m. No, you do this when you already like know her for like a little bit. At first you just want to get her attention, okay? The same thing goes for reels. Your reels, because every of your reel is like this first photo of Tinder. Every of your reels is like this pickup line. Okay, is your first photo is going to grab their attention and watch more of your content, and in other pieces of your content, then you can make them buy something. Okay, so now advice number 12. You don't really have to speak. Okay, actually, the most successful guy with Instagram reels that I've found so far, he like doesn't really speak in his most popular reels. Okay, he just makes simple captions. He's like, you know, bouncing a little in front of his computer while he's recording it, and that's it. Okay, I think that I can just show you it. Okay, because I think it's like one of the most like popular like Instagram reels producers like at all. Okay, so take a look at this guy. Okay, his most popular reels, he just makes this simple caption. Okay, he doesn't speak. He's just looking at the screen. He's just, you know, doing, you know, some movements with his hands, whatever, like, you know, a little dance, and that's it. Literally, that's it. So actually, when you're doing producer content, you don't really have to speak, and that's good because a lot of people, like, I would say that people are kind of, when they are watching Instagram Reels, they have even more brain rot than on TikTok. Definitely more than on YouTube, but on Instagram Reels, people don't really want to like listen to you and get some, you know, very like specific fucking stories. They just want to have some fucking entertainment. So you're just showing them nice song, and that's it, literally. Okay. That's why you don't have to speak on your reels, and they're like literally. When I stopped speaking on my reels, like on my preview reels, I started getting better results. Okay, because I've been trying to speak at the beginning or shit like that. Okay, and it was going pretty fucking bad. For example, yeah, here I try to speak something. If you are looking for West Coast Thai beach, I just got a solution for. Okay, and we have like 2 likes. But once I stopped speaking, I actually made this really pretty successful reel. Okay, which is this. Okay, I don't speak here, just a caption and music. And a little edit, okay? And we're like, you know, way more likes, way more views. So yeah, you don't really have to speak, okay? So now's advice number 13. If it is unlucky, kind of for you, it could be post as many as possible at the beginning to get better. Okay, that's actually what I did, because at the end of my journey I started posting like 1 time a day, and not because I was lazy, but because I started focusing more on quality of those reels. But at the beginning I've tried even like 3 beats per day. Okay, because I was just fucking around a lot. I was just making a lot of pieces of content, different, like, no, I was trying different types of beats, different types of reels. So that's at the beginning you have no quality, so I always suggest you do quantity. Okay, the same thing goes for beats. You can try to sit on one beat for a whole day once you are metro booming, but if you're a beginner, you can't sell your beats. You need to just make a lot of beats every day. Okay, at the beginning, if you can't sell your beats, if you can't blow up with your content, with your reels, it means your quality sucks. If your quality would be the best in the world, somebody already would find your stuff and would pay you for this. But if there is nobody that is ready to pay you something for your reels, for your beats, it means your content or your beats suck. So you just need to do more of them. So in your first few weeks, literally focus only on quantity, and once you start getting like few thousand views on your reels, then you can check, okay, this specific type of reel is the best for me. I can make twice, you know, 2 beats per day, two reels per day. But once you will stick to making like 3 reels per 1 day for a few weeks, you will actually understand that actually it takes no time. If you make this kind of content where you're just sitting and listening to your beats, you could make like 20 of those reels per 1 day, and it wouldn't be difficult. Okay, so post as many as possible at the beginning. Then, and this is like the last advice for today, it's not that much about luck. You just have to get good and consistent. Like how, because this is actually the beginning story of this fucking channel. Why are you watching this? Because I wanted to check if my content will work on YouTube. Okay, but I actually wanted to check my point was generally checking if I was lucky with this reel. Okay, I wanted to make sure, because I was considering if I should do educational content for producers, if I should do this content that I'm doing right now. So I thought, okay, this reel gave me like really good feedback from producers that, okay, producers really like to hear my advice on producing. But now, was it luck or was it not? Now the crazy part. You can literally do this thing together with me. You go to my fucking channel and you check out my first short. The same thing. Make 1000 beats. Literally. the same thing but without music, and like got roughly the same results as this because like, you know, if it would be probably some entertaining music, it would get a little bit better feedback. But generally, I understood that I'm not lucky at this point. It's just like, you know, the good reel, the good short form content works across all platforms. Okay, I don't want it to post by the way across all platforms, but at this point, like, think, I didn't probably even have profile picture. I have no videos, no shorts, nothing, no posts, just a blank channel. I posted it to shorts and it worked. Okay, so I'm showing it you to prove it's not about luck. You just have to make good reels. You will see some like guys, some, you know, 14-year-old producers blowing up with some random reel. You will feel that, yeah, he's so fucking lucky. Actually not. He was lucky to make a good reel, but it's not about like some magic luck from algorithm. He just was lucky to get a good idea and to make it in a proper way. And the same thing goes for you. You just need to get lucky, to get good idea, and then this idea just works. Okay? There isn't like one strict formula that, yeah, in this way this reel goes viral, in this way it doesn't. But there are reels that will go viral, and it's not about luck that the algorithm didn't push my content, that's why I suck. No, if your content doesn't get views at all, it's because your content sucks. Okay, I don't want you to have another idea. If you don't get views from your content, it means that your content sucks. That's it. Okay, literally. So these were my 14 lessons for Instagram Reelers. So good luck with creating your content, boys. If you want to know more about selling your beats with Instagram Reels, but also in other ways too, you can go into first link in the description. There is like 10-hour selling beats course, including Instagram Reels course, and also building your Instagram page lessons. Okay, so you'll know everything about Instagram after watching this course. Also about types of content for producers, also about how to create those content, how to analyze your competition. So really a lot of interesting stuff. Specifically, like there is literally like, I think 80 minutes lesson specifically on creating Instagram Reels, and like 1 hour, like the whole fucking chapter about building proper Instagram page. So yeah, it's kind of worth checking it. I also run their like weekly meetings where I answer your questions, and I try to upload some exclusive content there. And you generally have this whole community of producers that are also inside. So just go into first link in the description. That's all for today. Bye.